Okay, so I'm going to start with the first thing is I have gotten my ventilator here. I have it plugged in and then I'm going to set it up. So first I'm going to get my filter. That just gets locked in place right there. Then I have my circuit. I've got my water chamber for my heater. Plug in all of my temperature probes. Then, of course, before you would use this ventilator on a patient, you would go through the setup process and check-off process. Make sure that the whole vent checks off, all of that. But since I'm just going to be doing a fake setup, I'm just going to go ahead and skip that because it's kind of a long process. So I'm going to uncap my circuit because if you don't do that before you turn it on, the ventilator will alarm on you. And hopefully this works. We don't have an air connection in here, and so I have an air tank, so hopefully it should work. We're going to see how that goes. So I'm going to turn that on. Oh, maybe. That one's kind of got a little bit of a leak on it, so we're going to see how that goes. So I'm going to wait till it comes all the way on and then hit new patient. And I'm going to go with that my patient is a female because it looks like the settings that we have, I'm going to do a tidal volume of 500, so I'm going to go ahead and put female. I'm going to do invasive. I'm going to do assist control, volume control. And my tidal volume is going to be 500. I have a peak of 5. My FiO2 is going to be at 60. My eye time is going to be 8 seconds. My respiratory rate of respiratory rate is going to be 16. Perfect. Perfect. So now I have my ET tube set up here with all of my adapters. This is a 6.0 tube, so it's a little one, but we're just going to kind of go with it. So obviously it's going to yell at me because I don't have a patient connected. And I've got my circuit disconnect because obviously I'm unplugging this. So I can pull up here all of my settings here, all of my alarms. So it's going to keep yelling at me because I don't have a patient breathing on this. So I'm going to go ahead and disconnect the circuit. And turn it off. Turn off my air back here. Perfect. So the next thing that I'm going to go over is my oral cares. Here at St. Mary's, the RTs do not do the oral cares. The nurses actually do, so I had trouble finding some of the equipment. But basically the concept is every 2 hours someone is going to go in and brush the patient's teeth, suction them out. We have these little oral swabs with some mouth moisturizer. You're going to clean out their mouth because these patients aren't able to brush their teeth or kind of clean out their mouth as if you were breathing on your own without the ventilator. So we're doing all this to prevent ventilator-associated pneumonia. So you have these little oral swabs, we have toothbrushes, and you're going to suction it out, like I said, brush their teeth, and apply some chapstick and then some mouth moisturizer to them. The next thing that I'll go over is my cuff cares. So again, I have my little AT tube here, and then I have my pilot tube. Here we have these little disposable syringe cufflators. So you can see now my cuff is pretty inflated, so I'm going to connect it on the end here. And it's not quite at the green line, so I'm going to inflate it just a little bit more so that it's reading in the green. If I did too much, it would go to red. So I'm going to back off a little bit to where my little plunger is in the green. And now my cuff is appropriately inflated. And my pilot tubing I can see here. And then the next thing I'm going to do is my inline MDI and inline NEP. So again, you can see I've got it all connected to my circuit here. Obviously this would be in the patient. My ventilator circuit would be connected here. So I have an MDI adapter here. It has a little cover that likes to stick. You just pop that off and you pop the actual MDI out of your little container, and then it just, if I can get this on here, sets on here, and you squeeze down and it administers the drug. And then of course when you have air behind it, it would take it down the ET tube. So however many puffs that you need for your patient, you can just set that back here. Then I have my little NEP cup here with some saline in it. I have my aerogen driver plugged in here. And this just goes in right here. You put in your saline. And then there we go. So then of course if I wanted to, I'll take all of this off, if I needed to suction my patient, I have my inline suction. You just go down and then suction on your way out. Tell your patient, you know, big cough, go down till they cough. And then that's how you've set up a ventilator, I've done my oral cares, cuff cares, MDI, and a nebulizer.